Luke here with the Outdoor Boys YouTube channel, and I'm flying to the furthest corners of Alaska searching for walrus ivory. For the next 4 days, I'm hiking remote islands, camping in whale graveyards, searching for beach treasure, and I'm bringing you along for the ride. All right, guys, welcome to Dillingham, Alaska.
How long?
Well, we're gonna fly out along the coast of the Bering Sea, and we're gonna be looking for dead walruses washed up on the beach so we can harvest the ivory off them.
I've had a few.
Well, as soon as we get up in the air, we head out to Bristol Bay and we're looking for dead walruses. And if you don't know already, walruses are huge. They're about the size of a car. So we're flying over the beach looking for a dead animal the size of a car. But we're also looking for places to safely land the plane so we can get out and explore more. And the only way to tell if a section of beach is firm enough to land a plane, you have to get down low and skim the tires across the sand and see how the plane reacts. And that's what we're doing here. Apparently the pilot didn't like that spot, so we powered up and kept flying. But we're not just looking for walruses. You can spot all sorts of interesting stuff from the air. In this spot, Gabe saw the spine of a whale washed up on the beach.
It's 5 minutes here.
Oh, we've been flying for about an hour. We're gonna stop and poke around a little bit and see what else we can find. Here in the US, it's legal for me to find and keep walrus ivory if I find it washed up dead on the beach. But there's a ton of other things we might find as well. A lot of these cliffs along the shore contain fossilized woolly mammoth remains, and things like washed up whale bones are really common. But we could find all sorts of stuff. This is an extremely uninhabited part of Alaska.
You ready?
Yeah, ready. So we keep going?
Yeah.
One of the coolest things I saw on this trip was the herring spawn. Literally millions of herring were gathering together in these enormous schools that were so big that they would look like dark clouds under the water. And they were spawning. So many of them were spawning, it was turning the ocean white with their milk. There was spots 3 miles across where the ocean was just white and boiling with spawning herring. We saw millions of herring. Just, it's hard to get your mind around how many herring we saw and how big these schools were. In addition to herring, we saw seals, sea lions, walruses, and whales, most of them feeding on the herring. We tried to land in a few spots, but the wind was really strong and the sand was soft, so we had to abort a couple landings before we could find a spot to land. So eventually we found this island that was a little bit more sheltered from the wind, so we decided to land and take a look.
That's not a bad looking spot. Yeah.
So even if there's not, if there are collections of
Oh yeah?
1,000, he's like, no, long time.
That looks like a good chunk of jade right there. All right, we can do this. I'll tell you what, this looks pretty good. I think I'm gonna stay here for the night.
City folk.
Yeah, I am. I'm gonna go ahead and get dropped off for the day here on this little island. I'm gonna do a little bit more exploring. I'm stuck on an uninhabited island in the Bering Sea of Alaska, and we're gonna do some serious exploring. Oh, look at this. There's a bit of bone right there. Oh, there's a fishing float. Yeah, this is gonna be a good place to do some beach combing. I can feel it. I just need to find a good place to put a tent out of the wind. Oh, look at this. Oh, that's a bald eagle feather. Look at the size of that thing. That is a big feather off of a big bird. Oh, this is nice. It's like a greenhouse in here. That wind is bitterly cold, but once you get out of it, it's nice and sunny. Now that I got my tent set up, I gotta go ahead and contact my wife, let her know where I'm at and I'm alive and well. This right here is a satellite phone. It allows me to make phone calls anywhere in the world. Hey, babe. Yeah, I'm safe and sound. It's time for some lunch. I got a piece of pilot bread. It's a hard cracker that we eat out in the bush here in Alaska. And this is honey and lemon Wensleydale cheese. And I got a beautiful salami too. These dates are great. Just one of these dates is almost 100 calories. All right, well, I think it's time to explore a little bit. This area is known for having really big, violent storms. And when those storms happen, that's when all the good stuff gets washed up on the beach. You can see here where a storm pushed all these rocks on top of the grass. So I think all the real cool stuff is gonna get washed up in the grass up here. A whole bunch of netting. This is an old bone of some sort. Might be a whale or a walrus. It's so old it's falling apart though. It's an animal skull of some sort. Oh, look at this. This is an antique Japanese fishing float. The Japanese fishermen used to use these to keep their nets floating in the water, but they haven't used them since the 1970s. So this little glass ball has been floating around in the ocean for at least 50 years and washed up here in Alaska, and I just found it. My wife Becca really wanted me to find one of these and bring it home, so mission accomplished. But I got a feeling it's not going to be the last one I find. Oh, poor little starfish. He didn't make it. I think this might be the best way off the beach I've seen all day. Check that out. That's a sea urchin shell. Some bird caught a sea urchin and flew it up onto the top of the cliffs here to eat it. Here's another one. See where he pecked out the underside and got all the guts out of it. This tundra is hard to walk on. It's really just a whole bunch of boulders covered in a little bit of moss and grass. The grass hides all the holes and cracks in between the boulders. And you step on them and you go whoosh and turn your ankle and get your foot all wet. Huh, ptarmigan poop. Oh look, there's a ptarmigan right there. Oh, there's one right there. I just saw two ptarmigan. They're a game bird that I like to hunt in the wintertime. Very delicious. The ptarmigan are white in the winter and then they turn brown in the summer. It's springtime, so they're kind of half and half right now. Looks like a fox ate a gull right there. Oh my goodness. Net float all the way up here. Look at these rocks. Some storm threw this rock all the way up here on the side of the cliff. I mean, look at that. That's insane. If I found this float all the way up there, I wonder what else is covered up with that snow. That was a bit messy. That is a piece of ivory right there. Yeah, that's the tip of a walrus tusk. It was just laying right there on top of the rocks. That is so cool. If you find walrus ivory on the beach here in Alaska, you have 30 days to register it with the federal government. You can't sell it, you can't buy it, but you can keep it. Oh, look at this. It's another chunk of bone. That looks like the rib bone of a walrus right there. Look at that, here's some more pieces right there. Look at all those eiders right there. It's a gorgeous sea duck called an eider. Oh, look at this. Oh, that's another chunk of ivory. That's cool. You know, that's a good sign. I've only been walking for 2 hours and I've already found 2 pieces of ivory. The cliffs are just getting steeper and steeper the further I go, and the tide's coming up. And it's gonna trap me in one of these coves, and I'm not gonna be able to climb out, and that's gonna be bad. So I think I might need to start heading back. There's another piece of bone. Oh, there we go. That's another piece of ivory right there. Dead crab. A couple ptarmigan right there. A piece of pumice. It's made from cooling lava when volcanoes explode. We've got a lot of volcanoes here in Alaska. But this is the cool thing about pumice. It floats. A floating stone. Check it out, that's a vertebrae. That could be the vertebrae of a walrus. They're the size of small trucks, but that's cool. That's in really good shape. We're finding vertebrae. We can find a skull anytime. Look at this. It's just so amazing. This thing was handmade in Asia over 50 years ago, and it floated across the ocean, landed on this beach in a storm without breaking, and I found it. That's so cool. Oh, look at that. I've walked so many miles of beaches here in Alaska and never found one of these glass balls, and I found 3 already today. This is just so cool. So far I found all 3 balls right at the high tide mark. Another piece of pumice. You're gonna find floats in the same place you find pumice. Oh, there we go. Oh. Oh, they're just everywhere. Another one. Another fishing float. And an old fishing buoy. You tie a rope to the end of this and hang it from a tree limb. It makes a great rope swing. Oh, look at that. Yeah, another nice chunk of ivory. Oh, look at that. Oh, looks like some sort of skull. These are really delicate. I think these are bird bones. I think that belongs to a seal or a walrus. I've walked about 8.5 miles in about 5.5 hours at beachcombing. Yeah, I'm tired. 1, 2, 7, 10. There you go, we got 10 glass floats, 4 pieces of ivory, and a big pile of bones. Lots of bones. I think it's time to make some dinner. I'm gonna go ahead and leave these bones here because marine mammal bones are heavily regulated, and in order to keep these, I'd have to send them to a biologist, get them identified, which species they're from, and make sure that that's one of the species that you're allowed to keep bones from. It's a lot of time and energy for a souvenir bone. I think it's just best if I leave those there. Not getting pressure. Ah ha ha, fixed it. Another thing I love about these MSR stoves is their repair kits are awesome. Good instruction. Every little part that can break on this, they've got a spare, and all the tools and lubricants you need to repair it in the field. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, we'll get some water boiling. I made some fajitas and vacuum sealed them and froze them. I'm gonna go and put them in here to warm it up. Some hot fajitas sound good to me. Got some big old chocolate caramel cookies for dessert here. Hot chocolate and a chocolate cookie, that's so good. Whew, it's a little chilly. A little hot chocolate tastes good. Well, it's 10:45. It is past my bedtime. Oh, what I'm sore. If you lay one of these air mats straight down on the ground with all this grass and sticks, you'll get a hole poked in it. I've got my survival bivvy here, and I kind of use that as a protector. This is just a big waterproof sleeve that you can put your bag inside, protect it from the elements if you don't have a tent. Oh, my socks are a little wet. I'm just gonna put them in the bottom of my sleeping bag, and the heat of my body will dry them out. It's pretty late, and I want to get up early and do some more beach combing, so I'm gonna turn off the camera and I'll see you guys in the morning.
Oh, good morning. It's about 6 a.m. and it is cold. I think I should get up and make some hot oatmeal.
Got some Scottish oatmeal here. Got some hard brown sugar. Throw a little butter in with our oatmeal.
Gonna have oatmeal in bed. I got some more beach combing to do before the plane comes.
Oh, this is pretty. Oh, there's ice in my drinking water. It's a little cold still. All right, I've got to hike down to the next cove, and I've got to get around that little mountain. So I'm gonna go around the toe of this bench here on the right, follow a creek around the foothills of the mountain around the right. Probably about a good 1.5 to 2 miles. These are crowberries. As far as the eye can see, like 80% of the plants on this island are berry bushes. And those berry bushes are pollinated by mosquitoes. So if you come out here in the summertime when it's warm, it'll just be covered in mosquitoes. Oh, dang it, there's water down there. My right foot is all wet. Best way to warm it up is to walk. I can already tell this is going to be a good spot because look at all these floats. There's bunches of them. And if the modern ones will wash up, the glass ones will too. There's another float, another float, another float. Some more pieces of bone. Here's some more. Oh, look at this. That's the dried up skin of some sea mammal. That could be a chunk of a walrus or a seal or something. Oh, look at this. Oh, that's a nice one. I like it when they have the net on them. It's a funky old shotgun shell. Oh, no biologist, but I think that's part of the tailbone of a walrus. Look at that, it's a hip bone. Oh, oh good, another net one. Nice. It's another vertebrae. My guess is also to a walrus. Look at this. This one's green glass. Makes me wonder how much stuff is just buried in this grass. You can kind of see how it makes a little bit of a trench right there. Any glass balls that get washed over the dune would settle right in that trench underneath all that snow. I wouldn't be surprised if there's tons of glass balls under that snow. It's a cool piece of pumice. I don't understand why beachcombing isn't way more popular. It's basically hiking and treasure hunting combined into one thing. Yeah, best thing ever. Oh. These rib bones kind of look like a small tusk. They make my heart jump every time I see them. Oh, oh hey. If anybody out there only has one leg and it wears a size 11 in men's, I've got a shoe for you up here in Alaska. I was just sitting right here on the rocks. Here's some bone, here's some bone, here's some bone. Oh, hello. I believe this is a usik. It's a bone that only male walruses have. It's used for, well, I'll tell you when you're older. There's another piece of bone. Another piece of bone. It's like a seal vertebrae. Piece of rib. Another vertebrae. Some vertebrae. Oh, it's another piece of bone. I swear the longer I stare at this spot, the more bones I'm seeing. Look at there. That's a piece. That's a piece. Dang, if that snow wasn't there, I bet we'd find a whole bunch more. I think that's as far as I can go this direction. All right, I'm gonna head back. Oh, look at that. I think it's like a hip bone or something. These dunes must be made up of thousands of bones. See, I dried up fish eggs. These might be herring eggs. Oh, look at a walrus. That's so cool. He just swam right down the beach right next to me. Seeing a lot of ptarmigan on this trip. Oh, there's one right there. Oh, I don't think there's enough walrus ivory in the world to make me climb down that. So I'm gonna cut across land back to my campsite. It's on the other side of that little hill over there. Whole bunch of seals staring at me right there. Oh, I'm a bit sore. Oh, well, I'm tired, hungry, and got a little bit of a blister on my right foot. I think it's time to take care of all those problems. The only time I ever get blisters in my feet is when my socks are wet. Pull my socks off and let my skin dry. Now I'll put KT tape on any spot that feels like it's getting a blister. So I've got a 2-course meal planned for today. I've got a coconut curry and rice, and I've got a wedge of brie cheese marinating in honey, garlic, and rosemary. Melted brie, honey, and garlic on pilot bread. That was like the best thing ever. Little coconut curry and rice on pilot bread. Not bad. Warm, dry, listening to an audiobook and eating curry. It's a good time. Plane's coming to get me in about 70 minutes, so I think I better start slowly packing up. Oh my goodness, looks like it's starting to snow. Yep. A little bit of a snowstorm. I think I'll keep my tent up a little bit longer. Oh, jeez. All right, I can see the plane.
Gotta go.
I'll go set up a tent in those dunes, find a nice little sheltered spot.
Have fun, man.
All right, I'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah.
Well, here we go again. I think I'm gonna take my gear over to those dunes and set up out of the wind. There we go, got camp set up. I think it's time to go beachcombing. I don't have to go very far to find something interesting. Look at this. That's the backbone of a whale right there. I saw a bunch of them in the plane just flying over here. There we go. I think it's gonna be interesting, folks. Now, if a piece of bone that big and heavy can wash up, a walrus can wash up. Oh, this beach is huge. Here's a plastic float. These are the plastic ones that replace the glass ones. Little vertebrae discs. Look at the size of that. Look at that enormous whale vertebrae. It's got some maggots on it. Kind of smells. I think I'll leave that one right there. Look at this right here. I I've been barely doing this for 5 minutes and I found 3 whale vertebrae. There's 3. That's a whale spine right there. Pretty fresh. There's still all the connective tissue in there. A little vertebrae. Ooh, that's sharp. All the big stuff I'm just leaving right here. I'll come and collect it on my way back. That's a broken Japanese ball right there. These dunes are huge. Oh, look at this. This is a whale skull. That thing's about 5 feet long. It's huge. If I thought I had any chance of getting this back on the plane, this would be so cool to clean it up and mount it. You gotta admit, that thing looks pretty awesome. So many whale bones here. The sand dollar. Try not to spend it all in one place. Oh, see how cloudy that is? I wonder if that's from all the sand blowing on it. Look at this right over here. Pieces of glass balls everywhere. Oh, look at this. Oh, that's cool. Look at the marks on that. Oh. Ooh, that one's a little wet. There's some really gorgeous ones here. Oh, oh, look at this. Yoink, yoink. That right there is the Japanese symbol for 10. Look at all the different colors. I can see some more right over there. This is like an Easter egg hunt. Look at this. It's right there. Oh, this one's cracked. It's the Japanese symbol for 3 right there. There you go. That's a pretty one. Well, look at that. There's another one right there. There's one right there. Oh, look at that. There's another one right there. There's a 4. Oh, this one's broken up. Oh, dang it. 1 pint. Oh. Oh my goodness, look at this. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 9, 10. There's just tons of them sitting right here. There's 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 8, It's a glass ball and a plastic net. There you go. Ah. These antique balls are actually collector's items. People will actually pay good money for them, especially if you get some of the rare ones. My backpack's feeling pretty heavy. I might start having to be a little bit more selective. Another whale skull with the nose broken off. There's a glass ball and there's a plastic one. Okay, I have like 30 pounds of glass balls in my backpack. This is ridiculous. Look at this. I just put 19 glass balls back on the beach there. I figure if I change my mind, I can always pick them up on my way back. Oh, that's an old one. That looks like a fossilized one or something. The sheer number of whale bones here is just incredible. That's pretty. You can actually find glass balls of all sorts of different sizes. Some of them are huge. I haven't seen any of the big ones, but I really hope I can find one on this trip. Well, it's dinner time and I'm 2.5 miles away from my camp. So I think it's time to start heading back. I'm gonna walk back a little further down on the beach, see if we can't find some bones or ivory. Oh, that's a pretty one. I'm tired. Done about 10 miles today. So there's 33 glass balls here. There's 21 I didn't bring back. So that's 54 glass balls I found in 4 hours. Wow. Bright green ones, these brown ones. Some of them look like they're handmade, like this one. It's got little swirls in it. I'll tell you what, it's getting late and I'm getting cold. So I'm gonna go gather some firewood. That was a giant rib bone. It's supposed to be cold and wet tomorrow. Might even snow. So I think I want to make sure I got plenty of firewood in case I need to hunker down a bit tomorrow. Got a bag of spaghetti sauce here. We're gonna warm that up. Gonna cook up a couple reindeer sausage. For dinner, I'm gonna make gnocchi. If you've never had it, it's basically like a little potato pasta dumpling. Really good. Fried gnocchi with a homemade meat sauce and reindeer sausage. This is the meal you need when you've been hiking and beachcombing for 9 hours. Got some bread flour, and I'm gonna mix some water with it and let it ferment overnight. I should have some good dough ready by tomorrow. We'll just let this sit. Should be nice and fermented by tomorrow. It's late, I'm going to bed. I will see you guys in the morning.
Oh, sounds like it's raining pretty good outside, but it's a lot warmer in here than it was yesterday. The tent's sealed up a lot better. It's not as breezy. This is kind of a stay in bed sort of morning. Oh.
One thing I don't like about this shelter is it's so sandy. The tarp was wet when I set it up, and of course it rolled around in the sand, and so there's sand on the inside and outside of the tarp. As the wind comes and shakes the tarp, that sand goes spraying everywhere, and so it's just like you wake up and everything's covered in sand. Your plates, your griddle, your clothes, it's pretty sandy. The wind's really shaking the tent. It's kind of surprising. We're really in a sheltered spot. Bet it's crazy out on the beach.
All right, well, I need to go outside and use the bathroom. Oh, it's so cold out there. At least it's not raining anymore. But this is gonna be cold.
I tell you what, it is cold and windy outside, and I am tired. Just sit here and try not to think about all the sand I'm gonna have to clean out of my gear when I get home.
I've just been sitting here taking it easy, and it's already 1 o'clock. I think I might get some lunch going. Just gonna pull out some of this bread dough. See if we can keep the sand out of it.
Got melted butter and honey with just a hint of sand.
That is good. The pilot's gonna come and pick me up soon. He's gonna want a weather report, so I gotta get up, go out to the beach and see what we got. That is a huge pile of Japanese glass balls, and I do not need to bring them all home. And honestly, I don't even know what I'm gonna do with those whale bones. So I'm gonna pick out just a few glass balls I want to keep, and I'm gonna leave the rest here. Last time the pilot asked me for a weather report, I got the wind direction completely wrong. So I decided to make a windsock. Now when he comes into land, he can see for himself which direction the wind's coming from. There he is. Hey Gabe. I left piles of them on the beach because my pack was so heavy.
That's insane. There must be a system.
Yeah, I got a feeling that this isn't cheap. $11.50 a gallon. How many gallons?
80.
Just shy under 900 bucks to fill up the tank. And
I'm glad you had a good trip.
hey, it worked out really well. Listen guys, if you're ever in Dillingham and you want to do this too, make sure to check out Gabe's business, Sunday Air Taxi, and I'll put a link in the video description below. Oh. Well, I'm not going to be able to fly out of Dillingham till tomorrow, so I checked into a hotel, get myself cleaned up, then I'm going to go explore Dillingham a little bit. Well, welcome to Dillingham. About 2,100 people live here. Commercial fishing for salmon is the main industry here in Dillingham, and it's a major hub in the southwest of Alaska. These are all commercial salmon fishing boats. Salmon fishing is very seasonal. It's only a few months in the summer. So for the rest of the time, these boats are just sitting here. All right, let's get some dinner. Oh, thank you very much. Oh, yeah. All right, guys, it's late. I'm going to bed. I'm heading home in the morning. If you like that video, make sure to check out the Outdoor Boys YouTube channel, where we have hundreds of videos just like this. And if you want to see our newest adventures, make sure to click subscribe so you'll get notifications.